This is a really simple project. All it takes is a little bit of time and patience if you're not used to working with leather. Alright, when gathering together everything you need a leather hole punch, some shears, a needle, leather cord, leather pieces, anything you can find, any shapes or sizes. I would suggest long pieces though. You would also need thread and paper. And that is really all you need. A great scrap project. I made my own leather cord, but that's kind of a pain in the butt, so I suggest if you don't want to make your leather cord, just go out to a craft store and buy some leather cord. It'll work great. When you choose your pieces and you choose how you want them to fit together, lay them out like a puzzle and put them together, and you might have to trim parts to make them fit. After that, you take your hole punch and use a size suitable for the size of your leather cord, and just, I kind of did it every quarter inch maybe on each edge, and it doesn't have to be even or anything. It'll look good even if it isn't even. I think this looks pretty cool. And you do that along every edge that will be put together with another piece of leather. You know, you don't have to do that to any of the edges, just where your pieces are going to be put together. As far as how big your leather pieces should be and what shape, that doesn't matter at all. Personally, I say just use whatever leather scraps you have lying around, because this is a great project to use up scraps. Okay. And when you're getting to the edge of your piece and you want to tie off your leather cord, you just finish lacing it through, and when you're finished, you just tie it off as tight as you can and trim it. You will have those little knots like I showed you on the inside of the book, but it'll be very secure and it won't be in the way or anything. Also, you guys, don't make the mistake I did, which was when poking my holes with the hole punch for sewing in the paper, I didn't make sure that my strips of leather weren't too thick to actually punch where I needed to with the hole punch from the edge. So make sure that your panels that you're sewing together aren't too wide for you to be able to use the hole punch to punch your holes in a straight line, which I was unable to do. And of course, make sure it's on the center of each piece before you punch the holes. Don't do this. Don't do this. Do this. Right here. Perfectly straight. So maybe an inch and a half thick. And this is like 2 inches, and this is way too much. So make sure that your pieces aren't too wide so that you can punch these holes where you need to and not end up with this kind of mess here. And I used some embroidery thread because it's what I had laying around and it seemed to work. And this is most likely what the inside of your cover will look like. As you can see, I used different colors and lengths of leather cord. That's just because that's what I had left, and for me, making more leather cord is kind of a pain in the butt. So I made all of my own leather cord for this book. And this is how it should look once you've put in your paper and that's all done. This is how your finished book should look on the inside. It should be pretty secure and not loose at all. You should make sure that you sew it in really tight. And you can put in any kind of paper, but I put in some paper that looked a little less modern. You can put in as much paper or as little paper as you want. I didn't put in very much. So this is what your finished book looks like.